those memories, those opportunities, that experience, I have not experienced it at any other place. So if I could say one thing, you absolutely must be in the room.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Hey beauties, and welcome to another episode of the Be You series. This episode is a special edition episode. I know you see other ladies beside me. This episode is leading up to the Women in Business Expo and Symposium. We're going to talk about faith. We're going to talk about business. We're going to talk about what to expect at the expo. And we're going to have some fun. Y'all going to get to know these ladies, get to know their business, get to know their story. We're going to talk, we're going to laugh, and let's get to it.
Yeah.
Hey everyone.
Hi.
That's too cute.
Hey girl.
Hey girl. Hey. Thank you all for coming. I'm
so
excited
much.
about this. A little Red Table Talk, the BU series edition.
Yes.
Alrighty. So we're gonna go around the table and you guys can just let everyone know who you are, what you do, and just a little bit about yourself. Okay, we're gonna start with you first.
Sure. Hi, I'm Kim Spratt. I am the owner of Della W Wines and co-creator of the Women in Business Expo and Symposium. As far as my business, I sell wine and wine accessories. And we'll talk a little bit more about the expo a little later.
Okay, I'm excited about this wine.
Hi, I am Tamarrian Myrick. I am a certified trichologist and the owner of Restore Salon and Trichology Center. And what I do is I help women and men turn their hair loss into healthy hair with holistic solutions.
Love that.
Hi, guys. I'm Sylvia Camille Pierce. I'm the executive producer of my online talk show, Love with Sylvia Camille. Yeah. And I'm a singer and an actress. And I'm the owner of SEMP Productions.
Love that.
Love it. Hi, I am Ashnee House. I am from Miami. Moved from Miami. Well, actually moved up here in Atlanta, in the Atlanta area about a year ago. I am the CEO and owner of the House of Auctions Academy, where I help others build and create wealth through the stock market. So if you want to know about stocks, I'm your girl.
Well, hi everyone. I am Dr. Octavia Conner. I am the CEO of Say Yes to Profits, which is a virtual CFO and tax strategy firm. And so we help 7- and 8-figure entrepreneurs turn their revenue growth into profits they can clearly see, retain, and multiply.
Oh, yes.
I love
all
this. Okay. Well, we got wine, we got hair, we got a vocalist here, we got stock here, and now we got, let me just invest some money. Let me teach you how to invest your money while you grow it. I love that. I love that. So let's talk a little bit about what got you to where you are now. Like, what's the heart and the vision and the mission behind what led you to your business? We'll start first with you, Dr. Octavia.
All right. Well, I was in corporate America for about 10 years. And after a while of climbing a corporate ladder, I became a CFO of a multi-million-dollar pharmaceutical company. I honestly didn't want to be there anymore. I felt like there was something else for me. And so I decided to take a leap of faith. I started with working with my sister and being her bookkeeper, her accountant. And then from there, I just continued to grow the business. And I guess, as they say, the rest is history. Here we are today. Say yes to profits.
Yes, awesome.
What about you, Ashnee?
Well, I kind of like Dr. Octavia. I was in the corporate world for about almost 22 years. I was an operations manager in dentistry, and I kind of felt unfulfilled. I felt like I can do that job with my eyes closed, and there was just something missing. And after praying for a while, I'm going to say COVID time, I just prayed, God, just get me out of here. I just need to do something different. And I had no idea where, had no idea what, but I just knew I was going to be gone by a certain time. And I didn't expect it to happen so quickly. COVID came and it kind of pushed me into stocks. So while I was in a dental office, everything shut down. And once everything shut down, everybody was home. And, You would be at home scrolling on Facebook. No one had anything else to do. And I kept saying, we're going to blow up. We're going to get fat. We're going to eat all the Coke snacks. And I was like, I'm not getting no fat or eating no Coke snacks. I was like, no. So my husband and I, we worked out during COVID while the shutdown was happening. And I just studied stocks. And I had no idea what I was doing. And I always thought it was unattainable because I didn't learn about stocks as a kid.
Yeah.
In my area where I grew up in the inner city in Miami, and they didn't teach us about those things. So I was always interested in stocks, but I thought it was unattainable because it wasn't many people that looked like me talked about the stock market.
That's true.
So I just studied, and I didn't know what I was doing, child. I was trading and YouTubing and making money, and I was like, wow. So after that, long story short, I ended up taking some classes, learning some things, and ended up teaching. And now I own my own business teaching.
I love that. I love that. You took that leap of faith and trusted God through the whole process.
It was hard, and I did. It was hard.
That's so good. That's so good. What about you, Miss Sylvia?
Okay, SCMP Productions came about because I have to tell the story. I'm one who did not want to go to college. I wanted to go straight to Hollywood, but my mother said no. So fast forward, for 30 years, I'm a retired educator. I retired in 2023. I did that, but I've always had the passion to sing and act and all that. So all my journey through that, being an educator, I did do that, sing and act and be in plays and things. So, but during COVID, I released a single in 2021 after I lost my father and my nephew, entitled My Angel. And my mentor, she was like, how are you going to sell your song if nobody doesn't know you? So she challenged me to pick one day out of the week to go online. So every Sunday, I would go online and do Sunday nights with Sylvia Camille, yeah. So during that time, during COVID, every Sunday night, I started interviewing my friends who were artists, any dreamers, all during COVID. But then I had to go back into the building because, as COVID was over, so we had to go back. And then I was challenged again. And then she said, take it to the next level. So I have Live with Sylvia Camille talk show now. So that's how SCMP Productions was birthed.
I love that.
Yeah. So just recently, just past Saturday, I take 2 live episodes with live audience.
I love that. I love that. And you got some good vocals. What about you?
Well, I moved here to Atlanta, Georgia when I was about 18. And when I moved here, at the time, I was 21, didn't know what I wanted to do, the average 21-year-old. And my aunt at the time, she was like, you need to just go to school for hair. And I was like, no, you can't really make money with hair. But everybody around me and my family, including my aunt, said that was my gift. And so one day she just woke me up out of the blue and said, come on, let's go downtown. And so she took me to Atlanta Tech. And, she gave me this speech about, God really, he'll bless you, but he won't truly bless you until you walk into your calling. And so I started school, graduated a year later. 5 years in, I ended up going to get my educator license. And when I got my educator license with cosmetology, a lot of women came into the school with hair loss. And I did not know, what I was looking at. I didn't know how to, didn't know any recommendations I could give them. But long story short, I remember that night I went to do some research and I found out about trichology. And if you guys don't know what trichology is, it's the study of the hair and the scalp. And we find holistic solutions to try to get your hair back growing. And I researched that night and I stumbled upon trichology and I was like, this may be something I can, add to my career. Never wanted to really go into depth of treating hair loss, but I just wanted to learn how to identify. But long story short, when I finished trichology school, I had a client that just moved here from California, and she was very frustrated. She's been to the dermatologist helped her. And she looked at me and said, how can you get my hair back? Because I've been everywhere. I've been to dermatologist after dermatologist, and they did not help me. And they actually have made my hair loss worse. Wow. And so I took upon myself and, did like a case study on her because she was my first client. Mm-hmm. And she dealt with hair loss for about 10 years. And hair grew back within 9 months. And that's where it started. And so I've been a trichologist for 10 years. I have a full team of trichologists that works alongside of me.
That's nice.
And the business is growing. I also certified trichologist as well. So that's how I got here.
I love that. I love that.
That's wonderful.
Yes.
That is Miss Kimberly.
Yes. So Della W Wines. Like many of the other ladies here, I started off in corporate America. I was a tax accountant for about 10 years. But I knew that when I went into tax that I probably wasn't going to stay there. Honestly, I just started a career because I wanted to make some money. Let's just be real. I was like, I can make some money, probably fairly quickly. Mm-hmm. But I knew that I wanted to own my own business. I just didn't know what I wanted to do. So I got to a point in my career where I said, you know what, like, I really want to own my time. I really want my life back. And so I sat down and said, what do I like? What am I passionate in? And wine came up. Mm-hmm. And where that comes from is in college, I was a French major. And so I studied abroad in South France. And so my first introduction into wine was a South France red wine.
Like that.
We used to eat our study abroad group. We used to eat dinner with host family. So I ate dinner with a little old lady named Madame Villa. And every night for dinner, she would serve us this same South France red wine. And so that was my introduction into wine. And from there, like, have been an avid wine lover.
Yeah.
So I would just do wine tastings and do little things to learn more about wine, like here and there as, time went on. And so as I sat back and I said, you know what do I love? And I was like, I love wine. I'm going to go start a wine brand. So, about 2 years, it took me to kind of save my money and do the research and figure out how I wanted to enter into the wine business. And so, I did it. And we're here.
I love that. I love that. Right. I'll tell you guys a little bit about myself. I still work in corporate America. Okay. I haven't took that leap yet, but we're getting there soon. I started the BU series because I noticed that women are truly broken. And we're scared to share our stories because we're scared to be judged. Mm-hmm. So I started the BU series mostly for myself. It was supposed to be a fitness brand called BD Fit Lab, Beautiful Desires Fit Lab, but God told me no. And when you don't seek him before making a decision, you'll fall and crash and burn. Mm-hmm. And that's what happened. That went up in flames. Mm-hmm. And I sat with it for a while and started the BU series. And I said, what does it mean to be you? And being you is really who you are in Christ. Like, once you have that true identity in Christ, that's who you are. And it's all about sharing your story. So the BU series is your identity in Christ, but sharing that story of how Christ helped you overcome. So I started the BU series to encourage women to share their story. And I sat with the I help, how you guys said, you all have like your I help, what I help do. And I reached out to somebody and we were just like talking about podcasting, and it was just like, what's your product and service? And I was just like, I don't know. I just spread the gospel of Jesus Christ. I don't know what's my product and my service, but my love, Auntie Tia here, she really drilled into me one day after an episode. And she was just like, it's not about women, just like women empowerment. it's more than that. And I sat with that for a long time, for about like a month and a half after her. I won't say she yelled at me, but she really said that you're withholding what the Lord is telling you to do. And I held into fear for so long. And I said that I'm helping women see past their brokenness and seeing themselves the way that God loves them. And that's the heart and the mission behind the BU series. And I'm sticking beside it because Jesus Christ is my man.
That's right.
Thank you. Okay. So let's dive into some girl talk a little bit. Okay. Miss Sylvia, before the episode end, can you close us out with a little bit of a high note? I can't do what you do, but yeah. But before that, just give us with a note. Tell us like the Woman Expo or something.
The Woman Expo. Yeah.
Come on now. Okay. So Miss Ashnee, I was reading your little answers.
My little answers.
She said, I'm just a Black girl from Miami. Okay. That's who I am. And each of you guys answered your question when I can't say the question verbatim off the top of my head, but it was one where I said what would you want to tell somebody? Like, what's your purpose? Or like the heart behind what you do? And each of you guys said to encourage somebody to do something. Mm-hmm. So I want to start with you, Ashnee, because I liked yours. I liked all of you guys, but how you started yours was just like, I'm just a little Black girl from Miami. And let's get into it.
Let's get into it. Well, the reason I say that is because every time I think about what God has brought me from, I always think about that little Black girl from the hood that had nothing. And now I just can't. I'm trying to find the words without I'm breaking down already. Jesus, we just started. Oh my God. But I just think about anytime someone asks me like, where are you from? What do you do? And I like to start out with, I'm just a little Black girl from Miami, because I think about that little girl that had nothing, that had nothing but love in a home from a single parent home. And now as an adult, I have love and I have faith. And I would not be where I am today without my faith. And just a little story, a little background, because I don't want to take up too much of y'all time. Y'all can make me shut up. But I started, like I said, in dentistry for almost 22 years. And when I started with the stocks, actually, when I first started, the person who introduced me to trading options, because that's what I do. I teach how to trade options. So I don't teach per se investing, but I teach how to create wealth through trading. And the person that introduced me, I started working for that person full time. Leap of faith, fast forward. After I left my job, I said, this person is crazy. Like, I have a whole career. I've been doing this for 22 years. I have a W-2. Like, what are you talking about? And it's funny because prior to that person asking me to teach for them stocks, because once I learned it, I picked it up really quickly. And the people that were learning with me, they were like, teach me. And I'm like, I'm just a student, just like you guys. But then it grew until I had no choice but to teach them because it was like such a high demand. And I was new at it. But I lived, I ate, I sleep, just stocks. And going back to that little girl, no one taught me anything about investing, stocks, saving, paycheck to paycheck. That's how I learned how to live. I mean, and most of us that lived in the inner city, that's all we knew. And I took that leap of faith, start teaching. And after I parted ways from that person, I said, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know. I've been doing this for 2 years for this person, and I don't know. And one of my old students was like, Coach Ashley, girl, you know how to trade. You're not unemployed. I was like, and a light bulb went off. I was like, yeah, then I can trade for a living. That's what I do. But fast forward, I started my business again by demand. My students was like, we're waiting on you to start a business. We want you to teach us. Because I had given up. And I said, okay, I'm going to go back to work. I'm going to contact some dental offices and put in some resumes, and try to just find a job again. I'll just trade on the side like I was doing. And I had already started the LLC, started creating my curriculum for the classes. And I had an interview, got the position, paying twice as much in corporate America before I left, how much they were paying me. And I was like, oh my gosh. And something just said, that is not for you. I gave you this skill to share with others. You knew nothing about this. I gave this to you. You were able to create wealth, and you were able to help others create wealth. So this is what you are going to run with. You're not going back to that job. And I couldn't see myself not taking a job, and I didn't have a job. And I sat in my office in my house and I cried every day for a week because I was hired. I cried because they wanted to hire me, but God was telling me that is not where you're supposed to be. That is not your position. And right now, today, I have a little glass jar with one little, what you think is in that jar?
I know.
A mustard seed.
It's
It's right on top of right now today, right on top of my computer. And I looked at that jar every day and I prayed, Matthew 31 through 34. You, and every time I think about it, I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is so powerful because that scripture came out of nowhere. And it basically says that don't worry about what you're going to eat, what you're going to drink, what you're going to wear, for I am God. Like, I have the power.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, seek me.
Just follow me.
Yes.
And I read that scripture and I cried every day. And I kid you not, had I taken that job and not continued to start this business, my life would not be anywhere near where it is today.
That's so true.
I have helped hundreds of people create wealth, change lives. I get messages all the time from my students. Oh my God, thank you, Coach Ashley. You've changed my life. I've done this. I've sped up my retirement.
Wow.
I have retired. I purchased my son a car, cash, down payments. That is changing the dynamic of someone's family. So it's not just about me. And it's a lot of days where I'm like, oh, I'm doing too much. And they're like, you're not leaving us, Coach Ashley. But I'm like, I know it's not for me. It's for my students. And it's for their families to create generational wealth. So technically me trading and teaching how to trade, it's not for me because I can just go back to Thailand for a month and trade and just forget about it. But I can't because that's not what he gave me the skill to do.
Amen.
And I was told that if I gave you the skill and you try to just be selfish with it,
He would take it. He
away.
will remove
Yes.
it.
so I have no choice.
It's like the
I'm
one
stuck.
that everyday gift and fear. You
I
everyday
get
gift
your
and you
number.
come back and
My
get
son is
nothing.
doing that in Alabama.
All righty, Dr. Octavia, tell us a little bit about you, helping you grow the little seven figures. Come on.
Well, here's what I can say. What I realized coming out of corporate America is that a lot of people who look like me didn't have the financial knowledge to really build a business. And that was my passion. You see, in corporate, they have the millions of dollars for you to tell them how to manage their money. But a lot of us, we get into business, we start the business, we're passionate about what we do, but then our finances are not in order. And I always said, I wanted to be that one that shows the people, everyone, but especially those that look like me, how to properly manage their money and how to build wealth due to their business success. What I didn't realize is that leaving corporate America, even though I felt like I got a yes, because I prayed before I left, he said that you're supposed to have a plan, right? When I got the yes, literally at church on Sunday, the pastor was like, there's someone in here, you've been praying for an answer. I need you to come up. And everybody popping up and he's sitting them down. And then he finally comes to the row that I'm on and points to me. And then my brother-in-law pops up and he said, yeah, sit down. I'm not really talking to you. He called me up and he said, you've been praying about something and I need you to go forth. You're going to be successful. Well, I quit on Monday.
Wow.
That was Sunday.
No 2 weeks notice.
No 2 weeks notice.
Just
I
bye-bye.
was done. I was done. Because I would walk in the office looking at my clock, looking at my watch at the time, like, I don't want to be here.
Yeah.
So I left. That was the wrong thing to do. Right? And so I went through a period where I called Broke, Busted, and Disgusted in my book, where I had to actually rebuild myself from the ground up. And what I realized is that it took more than bookkeeping. It took more than taxes. It took actual strategy to grow a profitable, successful business. And once I did that and I rebranded my company, I was like, I'm going to help everybody else do the exact same thing. And I've made it a mission to be that person in this industry that looks like me, that help others that look like me.
I love that. Come on now.
That's right.
She's my CFO, y'all.
Come on now. I love this.
Love it.
I love it. What about you, Miss Sylvia?
I'm just gonna pick it back because, like I said, I was the educator for 30 years.
Yeah.
And when I decided to retire in 2023, it's because I knew that I wanted to have more for myself and to live my dream. Because sometimes I felt like I was denied but I appreciate what my mother said. She wanted me to have a backup. So I was an educator, a teacher, a media specialist, and I retired as an elementary administrator. But every day, like when you were saying, you go in your office, I would go in my office and sometime and walk around. I'm like, I'm confined to this school building. I really want to be out doing more. And I was singing and acting and things like that, but I wanted to do more. And I understand why when you said, if you don't use it, God can take it away. That's true. I really believe that had I not retired, the opportunities that I've gotten in acting, I don't believe I would have gotten an agent in 2024 had I not retired. I don't believe I would have done my first co-star with Tyler Perry had I not retired, because I believe God tests us because we are his children.
Yes.
He wants to see, are you really serious about this?
Yes.
So, and I won't have lied with Sylvia Camille because I wouldn't have had the time to commit to it. So
That's amazing.
that's
Walk
deep.
by faith.
You have to walk by faith. And that's what I did. You know, I was like, I'm going to leave my 6-figure job. They was like, and the day I said I was retiring, Atlanta Public Schools came out and said that the next day they said they were giving everybody a 12% raise.
Wow.
Wow.
That was really.
And I told people in my office, I said, I already turned my paper in.
I don't even care about that.
Because I'm like, you can't always think about money.
Yeah.
Right.
Not when you really want to live in your purpose. I'm like, I do better come back being part-time with y'all. And it's better because I have the time to focus on the dream and do what I want. And if I need extra cash to help fund it, I have that too.
That's beautiful.
So,
I love this.
I
I do. This is encouraging me because I cried before I came here.
Oh,
No. I did. I cried. I'm walking into like this new season of life. It's scary. Like it's scary. And I'm learning to trust more, like trust God more and trust myself more. And
It's
somebody
hard.
said that obedience is speed.
Better
So when
than
God
yes.
tell you to do it, you do
you
it.
do it,
And
honey.
it's like what you all said, when you have a gift and God give you a skill, you don't want to waste it. And my grandmother, she told me the other day, I was just like asking her, like, I don't know what God really called me to do. And she said, you have a spirit of encouragement. And she said, a lot of people don't have that. So she said, walking it. And she said, read up on it and study it. And today I cried because it was just like so many things playing in my head. Like, can I do this? Is this interview going to be worthwhile? Like, what's going to happen? And I was just like, I cried out. And I said, God, I said, I'm going to just end this right here. Like this jumping down a rabbit hole. I said, how am I trusting you and how am I having faith if I'm putting myself through this? And I cried, I prayed, and the interview it's bringing me so much joy. It's bringing
Having
me
faith is a
so
very difficult thing. It is not easy to have faith.
It's not.
It's not easy. Just like she said, she got that notice of 12% raise after she left. When I took that leap of faith and said, I'm not going to take that job, I'm just going to do it.
Yeah.
It wasn't the money, but I had no job. So but I'm going to say that's my business this year will be 3 years old. I can't even say quadruple times 5.
Wow.
6 or 7, 8, 9, 10. we just shared like my numbers from like, I'm like,
2022.
what? Like
2023.
and that wasn't even like the reason, but I just know I had to continue to listen to the voice that was in my head, which was God telling me, this is what I want you to do.
Right.
You're not going to go back to your old ways because that's not what I have for you.
Yeah.
And listen, Jeremiah 29:11 says, "For I know the plans I have for you, says the Lord." It's talking to you.
Yeah.
Plans to prosper you, plans to give you hope and a future. Fear wants to stop you. Fear wants to keep you safe. Faith will get you exactly where you're supposed to be. Seek Him every single day, every single moment, every single minute, and you'll wake up and be like, "Wow, look at God."
Amen.
Yeah,
Amen.
it's so true.
Amen.
And I would say to that as well, like I've learned faith as a young girl. I was in a tragic car accident at 19. And at the time, my boyfriend at the time, he died and I lived.
Wow.
And so my aunt has been a backbone for me because she the one that always teaches me to continue to have faith. But I always thought as a young girl, I always asked God, why did you choose me to stay? And so me knowing that I stayed for a reason, I knew from 1920 that I had a purpose and I had to find it. I had to seek Him in order for me to walk where He wants me to go.
I love that. I love that.
Your steps were ordered.
Yes.
They were.
So I always look back and I'm like, wow, you brought me from that to this.
No excuse.
No
excuse.
And I looked at my numbers like in January and I was like, what? This is how much I made?
I said that I met you today. I'm like, what?
Won't He do it?
Right. And so I'm so thankful that, I have my aunt. I'm thankful that she taught me to walk in His faith and walk in His favor. And I just continue to do it, and He continues to surprise me.
I love that. I love that. What about you, Miss Kimberly?
Absolutely. Well, if I were to say something to encourage another entrepreneur, or really like after you share your story, I feel like I resonate a lot as far as sometimes letting fear take over. But what I'm really learning, this past year and going into the new year is I need to keep the eye on the prize and understand that, God has already ordered my steps. He's already told me what He's going to do. And even when you're in a season where there's like uncertainty, because right now I'm in a season where I'm praying. I'm in a season where I'm sitting and I'm listening. I'm waiting for an answer on where I need to go. And so I just have to sit down and have faith. And my thing is, I feel like God already has a plan for me. So, I find comfort in that. And honestly, my faith has grown so much over the past few years that I'm able to really accept that. So.
Faith on a whole new level.
A whole new level.
Yes.
So let's get into some expo talk. And I'm going to start with you, Kimberly, since you Women in Business Expo and Symposium. So let's talk about it. What can we expect at the expo?
Okay, so at the expo, you should expect a lot of fun.
Yes.
It's going to be a weekend full of networking, and we're going to have some amazing speakers. Some of the women you see here today, you might see them on a big stage.
Yes.
You'll also we'll have a lot of great vendors, not only from Atlanta, but from surrounding areas. We have a lot of folks who travel in just to participate in the expo. So we'll have vendors there. You can go and shop and support some of our women-owned businesses.
I'm excited.
So on Friday, we'll start with our meet and greet. So everyone is invited to come to the meet and greet, come meet some vendors, meet some panelists or some speakers. And then on Saturday, we have the actual expo.
Nice.
So we'll have panel speakers, we'll have breakout sessions, and then we'll have Portia Williams. She is our keynote speaker for that evening. There are a couple of surprises that we haven't announced yet. So you have to be in the building to see, but there will be a couple of surprises that are sprinkled out throughout the weekend.
Nice.
So you'll have to, go get your tickets so that you can come and participate. And then lastly, on Sunday, we have our business brunch with Dr. Heavenly Kimes. She's going to come and speak about her, she's owned like several dental practices throughout the greater Atlanta area. And then she's also going to speak about her political endeavors.
I like this. I'm excited for this. So, ladies, our panelists for the expo, tell us what we can expect from you guys. Anybody can start.
Our story, our journey. How we started our business and, the why behind it. And most importantly, the mission. And to just encourage other women who are there, if they're contemplating doing this, they can have one too. That's the main purpose.
Yeah. Well, we have a breakout session and then we have a separate opportunity to speak on Sunday. So I think during my breakout session, I'm going to teach how to say yes to zero taxes legally and ethically. I wrote an entire book about it. So I'm going to teach that on Saturday. And then on Sunday, I'm going to go over the 5 pillars to not only have more money, but to keep more profits in your business.
Yeah, come sit in. Okay, teach me.
Well, on Friday, I am hosting the welcome, so we're going to have a party.
All right. Yay.
So we're going to have a good time on Friday. I have some surprises, a few games to play, everybody to network and kind of mingle around and talk to each other. But on Saturday, I have a breakout session, and I will be teaching an introduction to everybody that knows nothing about stocks or trading. It's always good to have an introduction to kind of get the mind rolling to see it. This is what I want to do. So that's what I'm going to do on Saturday.
I love that.
Awesome.
What about you?
I think for me, I'm one of the panelists, and I want to teach women how to go from starting a business from zero to making a 6-figure, 7-figure business.
There you go.
Yes.
I love this. I'm excited for this. Yeah. I really am. And this was really, I saw the ad running on my Instagram and new podcast, don't know nothing about nothing. I sent the page a DM and Willie reached out and he was just like, send an email and we'll chat, and met with them, and now we're here. Listen, and it was a battle. But I'm happy that I took that leap and I sent that DM, and I believed in myself and I trusted what God is doing. I'm super duper excited about the expo. Like, I really am. It seems like you guys have a lot of good things coming to the expo. Let's see for someone who doesn't know about the expo, like that never heard about it. Like, what's the reason? What can we do to hype them up, to tell them you need to be in this room? Why should somebody that never seen about it, never heard about it, why should they want to come to the expo?
I'm sorry. I was going to say, because last year I attended and I was blown away because it was so many Black women there who were hungry and thirsty for knowledge of how to better themselves. And not even if I went because at that time, I didn't really consider myself as a business owner, per se. But I went to get encouragement and network, meet different people. So that was and I loved it. It was just real fun. It was, and everybody was dropping gems. And Kim Fields she was a speaker last year, and she was excellent. So I think for any person just who needs to just to be around amongst excellence of Black women who are doing something. This is where you need to be, just to restart yourself. If you need a tune-up, if they would say, you need a tune-up to get yourself back on track.
Come on.
Yeah.
I went to the, before you go, Ashnee, I went to the expo last year, the regular, I want to say the women in the Ultimate Woman.
The Ultimate.
Yeah, I went there last year. That was like my first time. One of my friends, she had a vendor table. And when I looked at the behind the scenes from the Women in Business Expo and Symposium last year, comparing it to that one, no shade, no tea, but this one seemed more of like a family. Everyone sat in close. Like it wasn't like I didn't think that I could get lost in there. I felt like it was a space where if you had a question, your question's going to get answered. And when I went to the other one, especially being a new entrepreneur, I felt like I got lost. I And even talking to people, it was I still felt a little lost. But the Women in Business Expo and Symposium, it looks like where you can really come, and especially if you're a new entrepreneur, like you said, you was last year, like you didn't even consider yourself a business owner, and now you're here as a panelist. Like,
There you go.
Won't he do it?
You too, Ashnee?
Yeah,
okay, tell us. You too? Okay, tell us.
I mean, it's I don't.
Well, I only I went because I had just, like I said, just moved in the area. And I was like, I need to network. I need to get out. I need to meet some people. I was like, oh, a bunch of women. Let me just see if I can network. And long story short, I met Kim there. I met Dr. Octavia. She's now my CFO. And I'm now actually a participant. So had I not gotten up that day like I started not to, I would have missed out on all of this. There's a lot that I would have missed out on if I had not gotten up. So just get up and do it, because it like I said, it was a lot of networking. It was a lot of powerful women that I met that day, and I have connections with today. So
that's amazing.
And that's what makes it successful to me is I really want to create a space that I feel like I wasn't getting because I was doing vending events. And so what I told my husband, I was like, I don't want to do other vending events. I want to create a space where I want to create a place where women can go and they can get the types of things that I would have wanted to get out of an expo or a vending event. Being able to network and be in close contact with women that look like me. We may not be in the same industry, but that doesn't mean that I can't get something from Ashnee.
Right.
Yes.
And to me, this is success.
Yes.
For the simple fact that we had Octavia, who was a speaker last year. We had an attendee, and they were able to connect, and now they work together. That's what it's all about.
Right.
I love that.
And that's what it's all about. I mean, we're in community with each other at this point.
That's beautiful.
And I'm glad that you said that you feel like it's like a family, because we are like a family. I mean, Octavia's back.
Okay.
And that's the thing is like, it really, when you contact us, you're contacting me or you're contacting my husband. And we very rarely say no. So even if it's the smallest thing, like someone said, my daughter has a dance team and they want to, come do a 5-minute dance. Okay, let me see if we can find something in the schedule. Because at the end of the day, these are young girls. You never know what they can get out of coming and seeing all of these women, express themselves and talk about what they do. There could be a little girl on that dance team that says, you know what? I think I want to be a accountant. I think I want to be a CFO. Or I think I want to be a singer. So that's what it's all about.
It's a beautiful thing.
It's a beautiful thing.
It is. How did you come into it?
I go to her. I go to her salon.
Be a family.
And this will be my first time, and I've been wanting to network for a long time and find networking events. And when she brought it to me, I was like, no.
I was like, you can do this. You can do this.
But then it's like God just kind of like punched me in the face. He's like, what are you doing? This is a perfect thing to network. You can be around like-minded women. And I'm so excited. I am so excited to I really want to connect with you.
Yeah.
I need your services.
Yes.
But I'm just excited.
Yeah.
I'm very excited.
Yeah,
That's
You're
amazing.
going to be great.
No, I was just saying I'm excited too because when I got the white envelope in my mailbox, that's how.
envelope.
Did y'all get white envelope?
Okay,
In some form, we did.
A special
That's
invite.
the marketing genius back there contacting folks to say, hey,
Yeah. And when
we're back this year.
Yeah, and I said, I opened it up and I was like, oh, I attended this last year. They remembered me. I felt like you remembered me. And then I started going through the magazine. And then when I saw opportunities and I was like, light bulb said, okay, you need to scan that. You need to let them know you want to be a participant in another way.
Yeah.
So I can share my story and my gift.
And here's
so
what
I
I can
love
say
it.
too.
Thank
Last
you.
year,
Oh,
I
thank you.
participated. My marketing assistant found the expo online, had maybe like 5-6 conversations with Willie.
Yeah.
Each and every time he answered all of our questions. I am a person that asks 1,001 questions. Thank you, Willie. He answered all of the questions. We participated, and I attend a lot of events. I speak at a lot of events. The Women in Business Expo has been one of the best events that I've attended from two sides. Of course, from the accounting side, right? Investing in yourself by attending the event, by sponsoring a part of the event, and then walking away with maybe at this point, a 5x investment return on the investment. So what I invested, we've gotten it back. I don't even know how many times at this point, right? But then on the flip side, as Ashnee mentioned, I met so many wonderful people. I met so many people. I remember, and I'll never forget, I was speaking in my room, and my babies, I have my kids come with me to every event because that's a tax strategy, y'all. But anyway, so I have them come with me at every event. And I was speaking, and a young lady wanted for her book to be signed, but I couldn't sign her book. And so I have a picture of my youngest baby signing the book for me while I'm in the back speaking at the event. Those memories, those opportunities, that experience, I have not experienced it at any other place. So if I could say one thing, you absolutely must be in the room.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And then I met one of my favorite clients.
In the room. So these one of the rooms that you need to be in.
It's one of the rooms
Hands
you
down.
need to be in.
I love that. And like you said about Willie and Kimberly, but Willie, he's the man with the plan behind the scenes. He is very prompt with his responses. And like you said, y'all rarely say no to anyone. And at the time, I think I only had like 320 followers on Instagram. I'm like, I know they're going to say no. Because I got denied so many times at the new podcast. People said that.
Right.
Hello, come on now. And, and I was just like, this is just going to be another no. And it wasn't a no. And I was so excited. I called my husband. And I told him, and he was just like, stop playing. And I was just like, no. And after the meeting, I called him, and I was just like, And he was just like, how did it go? So it was really like, I'm happy that I did it.
Yes.
Because like sitting here with you ladies, it feels like empowerment. And it feels like just like a community of what you can expect at the expo. And for you being one of the one behind the scenes
Visionary.
just doing it and handling it, and for you to just be here just so humble and not scared to say, come on, be a part of this, or come on, be a panelist, and just seeing people's dreams and seeing their vision, that says a lot about your brand, and that just says a lot about who you are. And also with your husband too, like the two of you guys together, you guys will go far because you're humble about it. There's no, we had over 100 people in the room last year. No, you can't do this because we're having Portia Williams coming, because we had this person coming. It's just like, no, you want an opportunity, take that opportunity. I believe in you, and pushing people. And we need more of that in this community, especially as Black people and Black women. We need a lot more of that.
I agree. And I hope that, anyone who's listening to your podcast, they understand that you could always reach out to us.
Yeah.
Like you said, we rarely say no. And when we bring you into our, our circle, like, you're here.
Yeah.
So don't be surprised if we reach out to you again and say, hey, you know, can we get back on the platform? You know, can you do some interviews? You know, we will knock on the door again, like, hey.
Absolutely.
You know?
That's good.
Absolutely. But it's like what you said too, Dr. Octavia, about putting in that investment. I was scared to spend that money. I was sharing with Willie and Kim when we were talking that my husband, he was off for a while and like we were just getting caught up. So this was like I was scared to spend this money. I'm just like, am I going to lose money by investing into my dreams and like investing into myself? And my husband, he's just like, baby, I believe in you. And he's been out on the road. He's been staying on the road for like 3 weeks at a time and not coming home, just sacrificing to really pour into this opportunity. And for me to just like really put myself out there, like putting the BU series out there and just like really encouraging women to share their story and help encourage someone else on their journey to just like becoming her, healed, empowered, and restored through Jesus Christ. So that's all it's about. That's all it's about. So before we wrap up, I'm going to have everyone go around the table. And I just want you to just give a word of encouragement to not your younger self, but if it's a young lady watching this podcast that's still second guessing if she should say yes to her dreams, what would you tell her?
Me first?
Yes, you first.
Okay.
We're going to wrap it around.
Okay. What would I tell her? I would tell her the same thing I tell my kids. I have one son and 3 girls. And I always tell them, whatever you dream, whatever the desire is that is in you, that dream that is planted in you is there for a reason. There is nothing and no one that can stop you but you. Yeah. And so go forth. The journey may be scary. The journey may be hard. But if you continue to believe in yourself, you continue to put one foot in front of the other, one day after the other. Sometimes it's 1 minute after the last minute.
Yes.
Again, I just really feel like you'll wake up one day and you'll be like, wow, we did that. We, from a standpoint of you and Christ, we did that. Yeah. But if you never push forward, if you never continue to move, then you may look back and be like, I regret that I didn't do that.
Yeah.
Right?
So, yeah.
So what I would tell someone, I would say that, like Dr. Octavia said, the journey may be long. There may be a long road ahead. It may seem like it's a forever ending road that you'll never reach, but just continue to walk in faith. Walk in faith. I know it's hard to really have faith because a lot of us say that we have faith. And sometimes we find ourselves not believing and we don't really have faith. But you gotta pray about every decision that you make and continue to walk in faith and walk in love. Yes. That's very important. You have to have love in your heart in order for you to get far, because you can't go anywhere without love and faith. Those two are combined. So walk in faith, walk in love, and continue to just pray.
Amen.
Pray it out.
Amen.
Love it. I would say do not live with any regrets. And that's what I have a 21-year-old son. And it's funny, he's a day trader. He's like, Mama, don't tell people that. But
Come on, son.
Yeah, son, and because it's a testimony, and because he was at Alabama A&M University for 2 years, and this past Christmas, if he's listening to this podcast, he's gonna get me. He said, I didn't register for class, and I was like, what?
Because he made so much money trading.
Because he has already has the mindset that I know what I want. And if you can recognize that early in life, like I knew I wanted to go to Hollywood, but unfortunately my mother said no. So we fast forward and we're doing it now, which is good. But what I tell people and what my platform is about is to go after your dream when you feel it in your spirit. Like I tell my son, I'm not fooling with him. Okay, that's what you want to do. Go ahead. My husband, you can always come home. So I would tell any person, no matter what age you are, while you're living here and you have breath, go after what you want. Because when it's time to put the dash between the beginning and the end, you want to make sure your dash represents you. And that's how I'm living now. I'll be 55 in November.
You look good.
Thank you. Double nickels, right? and that's all I want to do for the rest of my life is to tell people I want to inspire people to believe in themselves and dream big. Yeah. That's all what Live with Sylvia Camille is all about. So just do it.
That's amazing.
Just do it.
Dream big.
I would say, like everyone said, put God first. But there's a book from Brian Wilkinson that talks about the dream giver. And it talks about, you read it?
Yeah, I have it.
And I go back to that book like all the time when I'm feeling doubt, when I'm feeling that I want to give up, because it talks about how, you know, a nobody can become a somebody, but you have to walk in his word.
Yes.
And as long as you walk in his word, as long as you seek him, he will take you so far than you can ever imagine. So I would say read the book. It's by Brian Wilkinson, The Dream Giver.
The Dream Giver.
And
go for it. I love that.
Yes.
If I were to give a word of encouragement to a young lady, I would just say dream big. Don't let fear hold you back from doing what it is that you want to do. Don't be afraid to fail because things aren't always going to go the way that you think that they're going to go.
That's amazing.
And whatever it is that you want to do your research. You know, like Octavia said, have a plan. For your, you know, and even though, you know, your plan may not go as, you know, you've written it down, you know, don't be afraid to pivot because sometimes, you know, things happen, life happens. And then sometimes like God wants you to go a different way. So
I love that.
Yeah.
I love
Pivoting
that.
can be good.
You gotta try some of your wine too.
yes.
Yeah, whenever. I gotta try some of that wine. My husband, he loves wine.
Top.
Yes. He can't pronounce Cabernet. He's from the Virgin Islands. So when we go out, he'd be like, "Can I get some Cabernet?" I'm like, "You are so embarrassing."
They don't say cab or short cab. They'll know what
you
you're
are
talking
so
about.
embarrassing. But I want to thank you, ladies. Thank you all for just your yes to coming on the BU series. And thank you, and Willie, for your yes to letting the BU series be a part of the Women in Business Expo and Symposium. I'm grateful and I'm very honored to be a part of the brand and just be a part of you guys and just really showcasing the heart behind what you guys do that Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and interviewing your vendors, some of the women there, the panelists there, and just really bringing that all together. So it's going to be good. It really is. It is. So beauties, here we have it. I call my girls beauties. So BEYOUTIES, BUTs.
Okay.
So beauties, you have it here. A special interview with the ladies from Women in Business Expo and Symposium. I'll be try not to get tongue tied, but all of their Instagrams will be tagged on this video. You can go and find them. If you have any questions, you can reach out to them via DM. And like Kimberly said, don't be scared to DM the page. They say yes. So if you want to just chat, go ahead and DM the UB Expo.
Yes.
Okay.
Unified Business Expo.
On Instagram, and they will respond to you. So don't forget to like, share, subscribe. I will drop the ticket link on this video as well. And if you are watching, you can use my code for a 10% discount, BU26. We will see you there, beauties. And before we close, we're going to have Miss Sylvia hit us with a hot note.
Yes. A hot note.
Blessed assurance, Jesus is mine. Oh, what a foretaste of glory divine. That's what you're going to find at the Women Expo.